Germany, January 1924. In the heart of the Black Forest, a forgotten village named Hinterwald lies buried under a shroud of snow and silence. Here, the world is muted, the air thick with cold fog that clings to the ancient pines. The church bells, when they ring, are swallowed by the wind, their sound a dull, distant memory. Smoke coils from chimneys, the only sign of life in a landscape frozen in time. Imagine your best friend disappears for 3 days and comes back as something that remembers your name. In this deep, unending winter, the houses of Hinterwald groan under the weight of ice and time. Through a pane of frosted glass, Gertrude Weber, a woman whose eyes hold the wisdom of generations, watches the darkness gather. The last light of day retreats, painting the snow in shades of blue and silver. "The wolves," she whispers to the empty room, her breath fogging the window, "are too quiet tonight." A single church bell manages to break through the stillness, its echo a summons. Villagers drawn from their homes gather in the small square. Lanterns cut feeble paths through the oppressive fog, casting long, dancing shadows. Faces are etched with a tension that has nothing to do with the cold. It's an old fear, one that has settled in their bones like the winter chill. Gertrude steps forward, her voice a low, raspy warning that commands their attention. "3 wolves," she announces, her words hanging in the frozen air. "Found dead near the old logging path, torn from the inside out." A nervous murmur ripples through the crowd. She isn't finished. And prints in the snow that start as boots and end as claws. Matthias, the schoolteacher, a man who prides himself on logic, lets out a short, dismissive laugh. "Gertrude, it's 1924. This is superstition. There's always a rational explanation for such things. Perhaps a poacher or a bear driven mad by hunger." Gertrude's gaze hardens, silencing him. "Then explain this, teacher," she challenges, her voice rising with the wind. "Explain the tracks that lead not from the forest but from the cemetery, all the way to the ruins of the old abbey." A sudden gust of wind snuffs out several lanterns, plunging the square into deeper shadow. The remaining flames flicker wildly, as if in fear. The villagers look at one another, the seed of true dread now planted in their hearts. Later that night, the storm intensifies. Anna, the village midwife, guides a heavily pregnant Margaret through the blizzard, their lanterns barely illuminating the path ahead. The wind howls, carrying whispers that seem to form words just beyond hearing. As they finally reach the safety of Margaret's cottage, Anna senses they are not alone. Muffled steps circle the house, too heavy to be the wind, too deliberate to be an animal. Anna bolts the door, her heart pounding. A close look reveals something horrifying. Deep, fresh scratches gouged into the wood, as if a great beast had tested its strength against their only protection. Then she hears it, a slow, guttural breathing just on the other side of the door. A distant howl cuts through the storm, a sound far too deep and resonant for any wolf. It sounds almost human, a cry of profound agony or ancient rage. Inside, the single candle on the table flickers violently and dies, plunging them into absolute darkness. Dawn breaks over a world remade in white. The storm has passed, leaving behind a deceptive peace. A small group of villagers finds the evidence of the night's terror. A ring of massive claw marks surrounds Anna's home, the snow packed down as if something had circled it for hours, waiting, trying to get in. But the true horror lies further on. Near the frozen river they find Friedrich, the farmer. He is laid out in the snow, his body torn open. But it is not the sight of death that chills them to the core. It is the tracks. 2 sets of footprints lead away from the body. One set is human, wearing heavy boots. But with each step, the impressions deepen, elongate, the shape of the heel disappearing. The toes merging until the prints are no longer human at all. They are the tracks of a monstrous clawed beast. The 2 paths become one, continuing into the dark woods. Gertrude kneels in the snow, her face grim. She looks not at Friedrich, but at the forest, her voice low and certain. "This is not the work of wolves," she says to the stunned onlookers. "Wolves hunt for hunger. They do not pray to old gods." Across the village, in the glowing heat of the forge, Hans Bauer, the blacksmith, stands alone. He methodically washes his hands in a bucket of water, the soot and grime swirling away. As he lifts his head, The firelight from the forge catches in his eyes, revealing for just a fleeting second a faint, unnatural golden glow. He stares into the flames, a strange stillness about him, as the sound of a distant, lonely howl once again echoes through the valley.